The rim in Scotiabank Arena has come to our rescue again. Can you believe it? The Toronto Raptors are through to Game 7 of the playoffs against Cleveland thanks to RJ Barrett's game-winning three. Just when things seemed lost, when it seemed like we were too banged up, too shorthanded, too inexperienced, we found a way. Today, we're going to break down an unbelievable Game 6 at Scotiabank Arena between Toronto and Cleveland. We're going to talk about how Brandon Ingram's absence impacted this team both positively and negatively. We're going to do the player ratings, a ton of A's to go around. You get an A, you get an A, you get an A, and we will preview Game 7. This is the Morning Whistle. My name is Aaron Arona. Oh man, this was just an unbelievable game. 112-110 Toronto. And I want to talk about the keys to this Raptors victory. There were so many things that allowed us to ultimately get this game over the line. Yes, one of them was the lucky rim, but let's talk about the game. And for me, there were three reasons that we won this game. One, our high-octane defense. Two, some key adjustments from Darko. And three, an offense that just found a way, specifically finding a way early. Let's talk about the defense. So the story to start the game was no Brandon Ingram, and Jamal Shead started in his place. Apparently Ingram has a sore calf, and I'm not really sure what that means, but as the great Herb Brooks said, a bruise on the calf is a hell of a long way from the bruise of the heart. I wish B.I. knew that. Not having him, though, led to some advantages. And one of the things that was clear, the Raptors were going to press hard. Shed, Walter, Barnes, they forced so many turnovers early from Cleveland. And while we had too many fouls, we found a way to just push. We ended the first quarter tied, and we got a big lead in the second. It was fast break points. It was forcing turnovers from Harden. It was creating bad shots for Cleveland. These guys just dug in. And it was a great reminder. Without Brandon Ingram on the floor, we are a much better defensive team. Another big story of this game was some adjustments from Darko. I said on the last video that Darko made some big mistakes in Game 5, namely bringing in AJ Lawson-Cole to start the third quarter, and I talked about how in the fourth, when things were running out of control, he basically just stood there and did nothing. Well, this time, Darko learned. AJ Lawson was going to need to get some minutes in this game, but rather than bring him in to start the third at a time where the game could be quickly turned, he brought Lawson in about 4 minutes into the third. We'd found our rhythm, at least defensively, in that third quarter, and then Lawson was able to come in, and what did he do? He knocked down a couple of big threes. That was great to see. Credit to Lawson as well. He also made a big play in overtime. Darko, great job picking that up. He was also way more proactive with his timeouts in the second half. He didn't wait for things to get out of hand in a do-or-die game. He made choices. He was proactive. He lived and died by his sword. And today, we won. And the offense. So, our offense was great until it wasn't. With Scottie conducting, in the first three quarters, we were scoring. Barnes, Walter, Barrett, all making some threes, and Scottie was just getting to the bucket. Then, like we've seen so many times this season, it just stopped. After at least 29 points in each of the first three quarters, we had just 12 in the fourth. And it was the same issues. It was shooters going cold. We got turnovers when we had played a clean game through three. And we just didn't make smart plays late. There were just way too many possessions in overtime and late in the third where Scottie wasn't even getting the ball, but somehow we grinded through. We said, let's keep going. Murray Boyles didn't get discouraged when he missed a shot. Jacoby Walter didn't get discouraged when he missed a three. They kept pushing. But ultimately, It's defense that wins championships. And it is our young players, CMB, Walter, Shed, who help set the tone along Scotty. They kept in the face of Mobley, Harden, and Mitchell. Late in that game, we had to get a turnover, and we got it. We made Cleveland get sloppy with the ball. And that set the stage for RJ and the bounce. Wow. So let's do the player ratings from this game. We're going to rate all Raptors on a scale of A to D. Let's start with the starting lineup. Jamal Shed making his first start since game 2, starting in place of BI. He gets a B+. He is just a gamer. The shooting isn't always there with Jamal Shed, but he is a defensive bull. He fights through screens. He does an amazing job of drawing contact, and he is a floor general. Amazing game from him. RJ Barrett, the hero, A++. He gets an A+ for setting the tone early in this game. 15 points in 15 minutes in the first half. He was hitting his shots. He was getting to the basket. He was taking responsibility. And yes, he didn't make shots in the fourth. He was very poor in the fourth. But you know what he does in overtime? He says, give me the ball. I'll make a shot. A++. Jacoby Walters an A. He missed his first couple of shots, but you know what he does? He keeps going. He doesn't care. He knows he has to step up. 24 in the end. He played 43 minutes, and his defense, oh my goodness, he was just contesting balls left, right, and center. He was locking down. This guy is a gamer as well. Scotty Barnes is an A2. Aggressive early, trying to get his shot. Absolutely posterizing dunk in the second. And look at the stat line. 25 points, 7 rebounds, 14 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Yes, he missed some shots in the end, but he has been the best player in this series. Jakob Poeltl is a B. Should be lower, but we win the game. Picked up 2 fouls early, led to our rebounding weakness. A little bit better in some of the minutes. Colin Murray-Boyles, he had a weak game 5. He responded here. Incredible man-to-man D. Back in double digits in scoring. Such a rock when he got the ball. And what I loved today was he made his free throws. It was great to see it, and I want to give him a shout-out here. 5 from 6 from the free throw line for the big man, including some big shots. Jamison Battle was a B, first off the bench in this game. Some good spacing early, made some buckets. Sandro Mamukelashvili was a C. Another game that he was a bit of a passenger. That's very, very concerning. AJ Lawson is a B+ for the improvement from the last game. There was so much to like with no IQ and no BI. So game 7 will take place on Sunday in Cleveland. And while no team has won on the road in this series, there are several reasons I am optimistic about our chances, with or without Brandon Ingram. And I just want to lead there. Ingram, I don't care if you play. I know we're offensively better without you. I know you can make baskets. I know you can shoot. But we are defensively better without you. And I know that every single person who played on the floor today gave it their all. So I don't care. Play, great. You don't play, we'll find a way. But here's why I think we can win. Number 1, Cleveland has no answer to our defense. They have no answer whatsoever. Man to man, we were just swarming them. Cleveland will turn over the ball. They don't have the speed. Conversely, there are clear opportunities for us to expose their guards, specifically Harden, Merrill, Schroeder, and Tyson. Yes, their bench can score, but they can't really defend. We need to keep being aggressive. Colin Murray-Boyles and Walter, yes, there's a few plays where you're going to look silly, but if you keep attacking, they are going to give you fouls. Last, our guys believe. And Cleveland, well, I don't know what they believe. Yes, there'll be pressure on Cleveland at home, and they will start better. But we should have won this series. And we should have lost at the end of this game. We found a way. We know the story on James Harden in the playoffs. And he knows the story too. And all of his teammates do as well. This team, meaning Cleveland, is fragile. And our team, meaning Toronto, are playing with house money. And every single guy is stepping up in their own way. And I expect that to continue in Game 7. Against all odds, we have found a way to take this series to the brink. And I just want to say that no matter what happens, this group should be proud. With no Quickly all series, with no Ingram, they have shown that heart matters. And I hope that we can come back to Toronto and play more games because this group deserves it.